What's happening, y'all? This is Todd Wilson with another episode of Elevate Your Game. Today we have two special guests, and they happen to be brothers. They both happen to share a lot of things in common, but I'm sure some things that are not the same. Dorell and Delon Wright, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Yes. We love to talk about hoop on this show, just the culture, everything that you guys have been through, your journey, and how we can help the people to get, there's a lot of kids out there trying to get to where you guys have been, your own son, your own kids as well, and just share with the people, your journey. So we start the show off, though, with the wall of hoop movies. And so, got all the classics up here. Your favorite hoop movie, we'll start with you, D. Wright. Do both y'all go by D. Wright? How does that work?
Yeah, I'm big D. Wright. Little D. Wright. I'm about to turn infant D. Wright in a second.
There we go. So yeah, your favorite hoop movie of all time and why?
Mine will have to go with He Got Game. Just coming from the inner city, having everybody around wanting him to make it. His dad coming into his life, kind of pushing him and trying to get him, to go to certain places. I feel like that's really the hoop culture, you know what I mean? Especially the inner city kids. So that was pretty cool to see how Denzel was pushing him and how the whole community was behind him and knew he was a man and tried to get him to where he needed to be.
Right. If you was in Ray Allen's shoes, are you going to Big State or are you going to choose somewhere else?
I'm probably going to choose somewhere else.
You try? I feel it. What you got?
I'm gonna go with Space Jam.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably that era, like right when I was around like 4 or 5, something like that. So I just feel like it was just, one of those, top tier movies when I was growing up. So
yeah, definitely. I've probably seen that about 100 times.
Yeah,
I've probably seen a lot of these movies over 100 times.
For sure.
Man, movies have such a big impact, I think, and so that's why the Hoop Wall of Fame has it right here. So dope. Man, we're gonna start at the beginning for y'all because you see it, but brothers, siblings getting to the NBA, right? You got y'all, the Holidays, the Ball brothers, Morris twins, Brooke Lopez's, they're out there, but there's only been 5,000 people in the NBA, period.
Right.
So coming from the same household, we like to know, is there something that in the environment that you guys grew up in that gave you that spark, that extra push to be a pro at what you guys do? What was that like growing up in your household in LA during the times that you guys grew up?
Well, we from the inner city, South Central. The things that motivated us to be successful was our parents, hardworking people, blue collar people. So they did their greatest job of keeping us from the streets. So that's easy out. Being an inner city kid is being in a gang life and just staying in trouble. So our parents made sure we were active and busy all the time. So whether that was going from baseball, basketball, football to camp or whatever it was, we was doing something every single day.
Yeah.
We were after school, we'd get ready for practice or wherever we were going, a game. So our parents did a great job of just keeping us locked in on whatever sport we were playing.
Yeah, so you guys are about, 5, 6 years apart?
6 years.
So 6 years apart. And so are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. So are you any more siblings?
Yeah, we got a younger sister. So
Yeah.
I'm 8 years older than her, and he's 2 years older.
Gotcha. And so you guys kind of took the lead from what Dorell was doing and everything. What was that like, just having an older brother and, following what he was doing growing up and understanding that example? I know my older brother was very different from me, and I was like, he kind of took a path where I was like, I ain't following that path. That's how you get your butt whooped. Like, you get whoopers every day. I ain't messing with that. What was that experience like, just coming up behind Dorell and yeah?
Yeah, he made it easier on me basketball wise because I saw someone make it. I didn't think I was gonna ever make it. I just thought it was a goal of mine. Like I just tell myself I want to do it because I didn't want to have no other job. So, when he made it, I thought I was once out of high school too. That's what I was telling everybody. It didn't work out like that, but I just feel like he made it easier for me to see the actual path, and it was just a matter of me finding my own lane, and we took totally different paths to get there. Even when straight out of high school, I did 5 years. It took me 5 years after high school to get to the NBA. So it was a long journey, but finally made it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What's the two things that you took from your journey, kind of going that long route? What is that, the mental state that you have to be in to know, seeing somebody who's close to you get that success a little bit quicker, or not, I want to say the success, reaching that level quicker, and then for you to do it, what were like two things that really pushed you to get you there?
Seeing guys in my class like getting success 1 year out of high school, and like they making it to the NBA after 1 year, and I feel like I was on the same level as certain people. So that motivated me, and just knowing that I was gonna have to grind it out and go through the long road of college. I just I had to stay on my path.
Yeah, absolutely. And so straight out of high school, and that was I think there was a couple people going out before that. You were one of the last ones to do it.
Yeah, 1 of 41 to be exact.
They were 1 of 40. I love it. No, I need them stats.
1 of 41 overall.
Overall,
To ever be drafted from high school to the NBA. When did you know that you were an NBA player? Let me ask that.
It took a long time for me to know, just because I was being groomed to be a baseball player. That's why I spent most of my time on the baseball field, the batting cage, in the backyard. My dad doing soft toss, hitting into a comforter, hitting off the tee. Playing high level travel baseball, scout ball, and stuff like that. So I didn't know until my AAU coach Eric Harden from the Paladins told me if I went to prep school, I'd be able to go out of high school the next year. And I remember me telling my parents that, and they was like, "Dude, stop listening to just anybody." Okay, so I didn't know until I got there. First few games, I killed it, and everybody was like, "Yeah, it's true. You're gonna go out of high school." So,
what was it about prep school that prepared you to be an NBA player? What was that 1 year and just being in prep? Because there's a lot of kids who go prep now and they end up either going to junior college or college after that.
So I did.
Okay, so that route. So
well, for me, I only played 11th and 12th grade. I didn't play 9th and 10th grade.
Okay.
So it gave me another year, experience, and then the preparation of going, cross country in Connecticut and my family in LA. So I had to mature a little bit quicker. I was able to live on my own and, kind of get a feel for what it's going to take for me to survive as an NBA player on my own, being on time, the work ethic, just being responsible and all those things that come with being a young adult. So that's kind of what prep school prepared me for. And then the talent that we were playing in prep school too, it was totally different from SoCal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm playing against guys a little bit older, a little bit stronger, a little more experienced, and everybody going either D1 or they going to the league. You're in LA, most dudes don't play after high school. So that's kind of what really prepared me, just the competition and kind of being a mature young adult.
Yeah, so when you were in prep school in the NBA, you were middle school-ish, right?
Yeah, 6th and 7th grade.
So you already had your bumps and bruises from competing with him, and then what was that like? Seeing him in the NBA stage when you're kind of coming around that corner to developing in high school and preparing yourself for college or whatever it was. What was that like? Him not being there, almost like how did you keep that competitive thing?
First, I was happy he moved out. we used to share a room, and I just feel like it was just he controlled everything in the room. So
I remember there's an interview and you say that like that's my old roommate.
Yeah,
old roommates. Yep.
So I was just happy that I had my own room now. And then once he was like, I actually seen him like progressing. I just thought it was crazy. Him going to the NBA at so young age, it really didn't hit me. When I was that young.
Yeah.
I pretty much hit it though from like friends and stuff at school. Like I didn't tell people that my brother's in the NBA, and I just felt like it caused a lot of drama. People were already hating like you're only on this team because your brother, and like so I just didn't tell people. Mm-hmm. And some people will find out and they'll just ask me so many questions, but it was cool. I got a lot of perks, a lot of shoes and stuff. People sent me. So it was fun.
And then so you transitioned, so high school. So Chris Young, shout out to Chris. He told me, like you said, you didn't want no other job. You just wanted to hoop.
For sure.
What was it like your first couple years? And maybe making some mistakes on the academic side. I love for people to know these things because it's important how you recovered and you made up for it and you're successful now. What was your thought process then academically, and then how did that shift and get you where you are today?
So it's a two-way street, right? So in high school we practiced and did all type of workouts, and so my body was like tired from working out and all this, and then you gotta go to school for 8 a.m. to 3.
Yeah.
So, by the time I was getting home, I was like, I'm not trying to do no homework. When I come back to school, I'm tired, and I was focused on basketball so much that I let my academics slip, and so I had to take that long route of going to prep school, going to junior college, then going to the university. I paid for it, since my 9th grade year. So I was just happy that I was able to overcome that, because that could have cost me going to the NBA as my grades in 9th grade. It was just crazy.
So it's just 9th grade that they were.
No, I'm saying it started in 9th grade.
It started in 9th. Okay.
By the time you miss so many classes, you can't make up.
You can't make it up.
So if you can only make up like 3 classes per year. I was failing like 3 classes per year, so that adds up.
All right, so your journey through prep school. So what prep school did you go to?
I went to Rise Academy in Philadelphia.
Okay, Rise. Okay, and then junior college. Where'd you go?
San Francisco. He can tell you a better story about that, why I ended up there.
Right.
So how did that happen?
So that ended up, after he got done with prep school, which was a total disaster towards the end, and I just told him, you need to just come back home.
Does that school still exist?
I hope not.
Okay, so now it sounds like Rise. Like, I don't know, I've heard of on the East. Is it East Coast?
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Yeah, see. Okay.
Kuzma went there too.
Who?
Kuzma.
But comparing where his experience and my experience, my school's been around since like the early 1900s.
Yes,
it's
South Kennedy. Yes, well known. That's why I was like, I've never heard of that one.
Exactly. So, it was just a total disaster. I had kind of more of an idea of what prep school was because I did it. So I was just like, bro, you just need to come home, bring your stuff. And then he ended up coming to the Bay. That's when I was playing for the Warriors, and he was just at my house chilling, not doing anything. And I'm like, bro, what are you gonna do? And this is a true story. What you gonna do, bro? You need to do something. And I'm just at the weight room, doing my lift with John Murray, my guy. And I'm like, bro, you got a junior college or a school out here I can send my brother to? Because he just came back from prep school. He just trying to figure it out. He was like, yeah, send him over there to my guy at City College. I'm like, City College? He's like, you don't know nothing about City College? So he started telling me all the history about the football team, the basketball success and all that. So I'm like, cool. So I get on the phone with
my coach?
Justin. I get on the phone with Justin, and he's like, yeah, bring him by. So I bring him by. He showed him around the school. He was like, yeah, we'll take him. And that's how it happened. Wow. So it was just like that. Me just having a conversation with the strength and conditioning coach. He pointed to City. Man, I know a lot of people know the history about City College, winning championships, being the #1 team in California. He fit in perfect.
Nice, nice. And then from there, transition Utah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Man, and then you were at Utah 3 years?
2 years.
2 years, and then got your name called 2000. What year were you drafted?
I was 2015.
15.
Yeah.
Man, nice.
Another crazy part about that story too, right?
Yeah.
So my boy JD Dubois, he just finished coaching with the Lakers Summer League.
Okay.
Head coach. So he was in his graduate year at Utah. So he was the starting shooting guard. I was in my sophomore year, and so I'm already getting recruited by pretty much all the West Coast teams. And he was like, "Yeah, would you consider coming to Utah?" And I'm like, "Not really." Like,
right.
They were 5-25 when he was here.
Oh man.
So I'm like, not really. Like, I'm starting to get recruited to all these big schools. Kind of feeling myself a little. I was like, you know what? Like, just out of respect for you, like, you wouldn't steer me wrong. So he's like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna have him call you. So Coach Slocum, he stayed in contact with me throughout my recruiting process, and towards the end of my beginning of my sophomore year, I was gonna commit early, and it just aligned. And that's how I ended up going to Utah because my friend was leaving and he wanted me to take his spot. So
that's dope. No, I think it's so important for kids, especially guards, to understand like those big name schools. Yes, they develop NBA players as well, but we're somewhere where you got the opportunity to have the ball in your hands and be you, and the coach is trusting you because you're the best player there. It's so important to find those situations but there's a coach who could develop you Obviously, you got better and prepared for the NBA and to that next level. It's so important. You see it with most of the guards that are thriving in the NBA. They all came from the, small. Utah's not a small school, especially to us in the West Coast. Pac-12. It's like, yo, big Pac-12. But on the, the brand of basketball we're talking about, nobody's like, oh yeah, I went to Utah. And it means something to these kids. So I love that you went that route and you got that opportunity to develop. So this is a question for both of y'all. It's different generationals in the NBA because of when you went versus when you went. When you first get in the NBA, what's the biggest shock to you? What was the biggest transition that you had to make?
For me, physicality. That was the biggest thing. I got to the league, I was 6'8", barely 185.
You were a tall baseball player. Hold on, excuse me. Hold on, wait. What position did you play in baseball?
I was playing first base and right field.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Aaron Judge, Eric Carroll, all them dudes.
And you could probably hit the ball.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. I was I guess a power hitter. If it wasn't a home run, it was a double or a triple, something like that.
Okay, sorry. Small commercial break. Yeah, got you.
Imagine running across.
I used to be fast too.
Oh man, that's wild. Yeah. So all right. So the physicality of the NBA.
Yeah, physicality of the NBA. I had to get adjusted to that. I just wasn't ready. It was all potential, and I used to ask my coach Keith Atkins, who did player development with me. I'm like, why did y'all waste your time drafting me and I don't play? And he was like, bro, you were drafted off potential.
Yeah.
You're not ready to play yet. You got to develop. You got to get stronger. You got to get better. You got to get consistent. So I think that was the biggest thing, is just physicality and understanding. Like, everything takes time too.
Yeah, absolutely. What about for you?
I would say similar to the same as him is pretty much is having to wait my time. Mentally, I was like kind of like, why y'all draft me? Like, because I had won the Bob Cousy in college, so I figured I was gonna come in right away and play. So I had to wait 2 years, behind Corey Joseph and Kyle Lowry. So just sitting and getting DNPs, just that was like mentally draining. So I just had to stay locked in. But just being humbled and not playing right away, that was probably the biggest adjustment I had to make.
What does that really look like, though? Because both of you guys have talked about that, just staying locked in that mental part of it. What does that look like on a day-to-day basis when you are competing? First off, this is what you do. This is how you make your money, and you got to get to that next contract. You got to get to your second contract. What does that look like mentally locking in? Are there things that you do, daily tasks that you do to stay mentally locked in? I'll start with you, Delon.
Me, I ain't gonna lie. I had a lot of fun in Toronto when I wasn't playing. Like, I was going out, I was using the excuse, I'm not playing no more, I'm just gonna go out. So I kind of got away with that my first year. Luckily, when I was thrown in, I was ready to play. But, that approach wasn't probably the smartest. But I feel like I was still putting in work and stuff, so it helped me. But, just day to day. Also depends on your support system. Like, my coaches, they didn't let me kind of like fall behind. It was always on me working. And then when I had some free time, I, have fun. But
so just staying in the gym.
Staying in the gym and knowing, like, seeing your vision of what type of player you're going to be and working on that. Like, be realistic. Don't come in thinking you're going to get up, 20 shots when you're just going to be a role player.
Right.
So.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree with him. I had a lot of fun in Miami. I used to be on South Beach all the time. I'll never forget Pat Riley bringing me in the office telling me, yo, bro, you need to go to University of Miami because you're underage. And I had to tell him I'm at University of Miami because my best friend Jack McClinton, the man there, so I'm doing both. But yeah, the support system was major. When I came in the league, it wasn't like, his era as far as skill development.
Yeah.
Miami was probably the only team in the whole NBA that was really locked in on skill development and, bringing guys on and taking the diamond in the rough and making them, a NBA player. So for me, I was at the gym. We practiced at 10. I was at the gym taping ready at 8:30. Me and Keith Atkins went hard until it was practice time. I practiced from 10 to 12. Right after practice, I went straight to the weight room. And then just depending on the day and the workload, I might go back up and shoot more. So that was every day for me for like a year and a half. And there was no way out of it. I used to be pissed, like, why y'all working me like this? But, they wanted to break me down to build me back up.
Yeah.
You know, show me how to work, show me how to be an NBA player. And I was so grateful for going to Miami because I could have went to any other place with no structure and been out the league as soon as that contract was over. But they held me accountable, they pushed me, and they didn't let no slippage. You know what I'm saying? So they stayed on me. And I used to be like, keep acting, bro. You're not my dad. I got a dad. I don't need another dad. But, you know, me being young and just green, not even understanding, it was just the best thing for me. And, you know, those people I respect and thank every time I see them because you know, I don't have the longevity in the league and just throughout my career without, you know, that experience.
And so the workload or the work ethic even went up when you got to the
Oh,
NBA.
man.
People think that's the entry point.
Yep.
And so I've been blessed to always do the pre-draft for the last 6-7 years, right? And that's what we do. We get these kids, they think they doing it, you know, University, Kentucky, Alabama, wherever they at. And like, oh, we're going hard. I know how to do this. And then we take them through a pre-draft workout.
Mhm.
You know, it's 2-a-days with the weights. It's pretty much what you do.
Yeah.
As a rookie, I'm like, now we're going to introduce you how to train like an NBA player.
Exactly.
Y'all are here and you're drafted off your potential. But if you don't do this every day for the next 5 to 6 years, you ain't going to get to that next contract. And so that difference that it makes to be introduced and shown how to do it the right way. You were with some great organizations and throughout your whole career. And it's crazy though, because I credit that to who you are as a person. I always look at that because those organizations, they get good humans.
Yeah,
they get
100%.
good high character individuals because they know that you might say, yo, you ain't my pops, but
for sure.
you gonna get to the work.
You're gonna respect it. And it built my mental toughness too. You know what I'm saying? How to get through things. You know, throughout the course of a game, or you know, have 3 or 4 bad games in a row, you know, that mental toughness from them hard workouts and them challenge you every single day. You find ways out of that.
Yeah. So Delon, you've been to how many teams have you been on now?
7.
7.
Yes.
What has that journey been like? Being on a different team almost every year, right?
Literally every year. I think my first 3.5 years is the only time I've been on a team, you know, straight through. So ever since my 4th and so forth on, I've been on different teams to start the year. So it's difficult, but you know, I luckily I've been able to adjust to it and make the best out of it.
What is so you have a defined role, I think, right? You just kind of figured out your place in the league, and that's why you're staying. You know, you stay with it. What is your role? You know, as you're a point guard, combo, you know, you could be on the court with another point guard. What is that role, and what have you mastered within that role?
So I mastered, still mastering, whatever you want to call it, being able to change the game defensively, just getting steals, you know, kind of taking away their best player when I'm in the game. Little things like that, I'm thrown in to do that, and offensively, just kind of control the tempo and still try to change the tempo at the same time. So, you know, it's a few little things. It's a hard job, but you know, I'm cool with it, and it's keeping me around.
Yeah. What is it that, or how do you deal with knowing that you go get buckets at any time you really want to? So I played against Delon in workout, so he's a bucket, and it's very easy for him to score people. And so, how do you get your mind in that state? Like, man, I could be doing what so and so is doing, and I can't because I have to fill my role. What is that like, and how do you? Is there a part of you that tries to strive to be that dude?
Yeah, that's the point. It's tough because I have a lot of friends that's like, oh, you need to shoot more, you need to do all this. And I'm like, if I was to do that and I failed at, you know, trying to be a scorer and all that, I'll probably be out the league. But you know where I'm at now. They know what they're getting. I know what I'm bringing to the table. Yes, I can probably try to score more, but for the teams I've been on, it's not really needed. So it's just a fine line of knowing my role, but still also knowing in the back of my head when the time comes that I can go score. Yeah.
And so, Dorell, you were in the league for 10 years?
12.
12, and then played overseas?
4 years.
4 years, at the end and towards the end. So it's 16 years of pro ball. Dang, man. Hey.
For a long time.
That's healthy. Like, that, man, you to play that long and at the level you did is that's healthy. What was that transition like, you know, after the 12 years in the league and transitioning to overseas?
I was so hungry still. I always had that chip where I still need to prove that I can still play at a high level. So, you know, I first went to China for like 4 months, and then after that season, I went back to Miami. And that's when I had the opportunity to play against him, like in that last game of my career, which is crazy. Now I think it was did y'all win in Miami or
we won in Toronto.
Yeah, so that was the last game of my career. I got a chance to play against him for a few
And he
minutes.
beat you?
Yeah, they beat us. We sent us home.
Man, I had not to cut you off, but I had an ISO against him at the end of the game. Like, everybody
Should have
like
ripped his head.
I had an ISO against him. I did a move and I ended up passing it to somebody else.
you
I didn't know
gotta
that was gonna be
shoot
his
that.
last game. You know what I mean? I didn't
Right.
think that was gonna be his last NBA game.
Yeah.
I would have for sure
Is
tried.
there's a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah,
yeah.
Let's find that.
Yeah.
Let's find that. That's dope.
Got
Yeah,
a couple
so-
pictures. But yeah, sorry.
So after that year, you know, I kind of was like, I want to go to Europe. So my agent at the time, Bill Duffy, I was telling him like, man, I'm trying to go to Europe. I want to play in EuroLeague. All my friends from, you know, Bobby Brown, Pooh Jeter, they all was over there for, you know, a long time. So I'm like, I want to do that now. And they was like, you sure you can play in EuroLeague? I'm like, yeah, you got me twisted. Like, yeah.
What do you mean? Are you super?
Right, you know, because it's a different basketball game. And I kind of
Okay.
took offense to it at first until I got there. I was like, oh, okay, now I see what they were
What's the
talking
biggest difference?
about. The physicality.
They're more physical
They're
than.
way more physical. That's why you
Okay.
see so many Euro players talk about how the game is so different here. You got the Lucas, you got the Victor kid that just you know recently talked. It's different. You know, you can bump, you can check, you can back a guy down, unlimited dribbles. There's not no 5 second rule.
second.
Yeah, you can chuck somebody that crossed the lane. You know, it's way more physical for sure. So. Once I got over there, I went to Bosnia first, and it was kind of like that day-to-day contract. It was like a lot of these teams want to take a risk, but they want to see you play. So I went to Bosnia. My first game, I think I had, 24? That's like 50 in Europe.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points. And then the next game, I came back with like another 20.
Okay.
So they like, everybody calling now. Like, man, we're trying to get you on our EuroLeague team and calling. And now I'm just like the highest bidder, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So played one more game, and I think I had like 33. Now it's like, okay, it's a wrap. So they got me out of there after 3 games, and you know I played in the EuroLeague, one of the second best league for sure in the world. Played against Luka Doncic and a lot of young talent that we see in the league. But the transition was definitely difficult, just being away from family, playing a different game. You know, the structure of practice, how hard they go.
Every day?
Yeah, every day.
They only have 2 games a week though, right?
Well, depending on if you're in the big league. So EuroLeague is once, and then 2 times German league. So I went to Germany.
Okay.
So we played 3 games a week. So
Okay.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we were always busy, but between them, you practicing hard still. Even
Right.
though
That's
those
what I'm
3
saying. You're going
games.
6 days a week.
Exactly,
Tough.
hard. So my transition was cool, and I never forget my guy Nico Zizis. He was like in his 18th year. He was like 30-some years old, and he was like, "Bro, I respect you so much because you out here not asking for no breaks. You doing everything they ask you to do. You playing hard, and you getting on the court, and you know you are our main guy." And he was like, "You don't have to do none of this stuff because of your career and you know the money you've earned. So for you to come out here and you know and prove to these young dudes that you can still play, I respect you a lot." So it was definitely a different journry, but it was fun because I was having fun.
Man, you hooping for money.
Yeah,
like
for
people
sure.
don't get that. If you really love this game, man, I have kids that I've worked with who are ready to go to a university, you know, their junior college or whatever, and they're like, I'm like, hey man, there's this D2 who wants you, and no, you're not getting any D1 looks right now.
Right.
Go D2, like it's the portal, all this other stuff happening. You got these, you know, the OTE, you got the G League. Like,
Yeah.
I know your goal is to get to the league. You got to take who
sure,
wants
yeah.
you
Mhm.
and go. Like if you love hoop, it ain't no D1 or bust. Like
It don't matter.
nah, go hoop, man,
Yeah,
and see
go.
where it takes you. There's a lot of people, prep school, JUCO. You know what I'm saying? Took you a minute to get there. There's people, Derek White, right? Went D2, then got the opportunity, and then got to there. It's like, don't think that there's only one way to do it.
I agree.
And I love, like, if you love hoop, then it'll take care of you. And you're going to have fun doing it regardless of what level you're doing it at, man. So,
And they gonna find you. If you can play, they gonna find you.
right.
Period.
There's too many people out here
Yeah.
doing it. Like, that's
Exactly.
literally everybody's job is to find the pros.
Exactly.
So. Awesome. So let's bring it back to LA. You guys have had a big impact just on the LA community with, especially you with what you've done. You created a Drew League team essentially for him,
Mhm.
and to get that competition, that bump, and to prepare. how did you kind of foresee that? Like, I don't think there was many people thinking at that level.
Yeah.
And so, what did you what was the name of the team before?
I started with
Kings of LA.
Kings of LA. Yeah,
Kings
Kings
of
of
LA.
LA was the first team, but we played with the Cheaters, Casper Ware, somebody that my dad and our godfather Dexter McDaniel, who passed away. They were close with Casper since they were young.
Okay.
So Casper was actually my shooting coach before I went to the league. My dad was taking me up to Washington Park, and I was shooting with Casper, getting my jumper ready. So I played with Casper right out of high school, like my prep year. And then I just talked to Chris Young, Ghetto Bird, like, bro, how can I get my own team? He was like, that's easy. All we gotta do is talk to Dino's, and you pay the fee. I was like, let's do it. And then I looked at it where DeLon have opportunity to play. He ain't got to worry about no politics.
Yeah.
Playing for another team, all these pros and guys that's been there. So it created something for him, and it also created something for our NBA friends. When they want to come to LA and play, now they got a team to play on. You know what I mean? Instead of going with some dudes that they don't know, probably going. You know how sometimes the pros come.
Yeah.
Other dudes got to prove that they can play, other than
Right.
letting them get their game off and.
Yeah.
The people are here to see them.
We are.
That's what it is. People are here to see them. So I feel like that created a lane for not only DeLon, but all our peers.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was the impact of you being able to play in the Drew League against the pros in that competition level?
I feel like it was perfect timing because I wouldn't say I just graduated from Lusinger, and this was around the time where I was thinking about prep school or like during college. So I was able to play against pros, overseas pros, NBA pros, as an 18-year-old. So I feel like it helped me a lot, just getting better, and also just comparing my game. Like I see what I need to work on. I see what it's going to take to get me to their level, and it's just one of the best things that happens to me.
That's awesome. So both of y'all, it's a question for you because you coach AAU a little bit now, and you haven't had experience. So you shouldn't play a lower level than your age to get better at basketball, right?
No.
Okay.
So if you're 12 and you're playing with a 10-year-old, you're out
There's
of
an
pocket.
issue. Okay, I just want y'all to hear that and see that from two pros, okay?
Yes.
Play up, man. Play the competition.
Play up.
That's the only way you get better.
That's it.
I can't preach that enough. It's like, yes, I understand reclassifying sometimes. Some kids need that year. Like you said, y'all need prep school. It's the doing it on the front end of it, right? But when you do that, go play high school ball.
Yeah,
Don't stay in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? And made hoops is a little, everybody's like a little older, so that made sense. Or some of these leagues, but man, go play high school. Go play in adult leagues, man. I love what that's what Gil did with Elijah. He just put him in an adult league right before high school. And it just physically prepared him. So, man, I saw that. I'm like, that's why I tell all the 8th graders now, go play adult league in the spring, man. Forget the little 8. There's no college coaches at AAU.
None of those.
And get that bump and that experience and be where there's no politics.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure. I love that. There's no politics. So, that's dope. So, the LA basketball scene, you created the brand, the Hometown Favorites with the clothing line now. What does that mean to you and what is its mission?
It means, you're a favorite where you from. Everybody, you like that hometown hero. When I started my clothing line in 2013, and that's what the 13 symbol for on the side, I think it's this side, or this side. I started in 2013. It was more of cut and sew. And I was like, we need a sports brand on this side. And that's when I came up with the idea of Hometown Favorites.
Got it.
Me being a hometown kid, being one of the favorites, everybody proud of you. Oh, I told, your old classmates, your auntie, I be telling everybody my boy played for, whatever. So that's kind of where it came from. Like, I'm a hometown favorite. We're hometown favorites because of our success and where we come from. So that's kind of where I came up with the idea, and just paving it forward for the young kids. That they could be a hometown favorite, whether they make it or not. Just doing something positive, doing something that you enjoy, and people look up to you, your favorite. So that's kind of where I came up with the name, and that's kind of like the mission for it, just paving it forward to the young kids, and also looking cool and fresh.
Right? No, it's fresh stuff. Man, that's awesome. I just love like it's a way of you giving back.
Yep,
and
for
you
sure.
here, man, like. Y'all are here in LA, you're here all summer, regardless, and you're here, all the time. It feels like every weekend or something, and now here, for good, and having your son down here and experiencing, the same coaching that y'all had. Like, that's why y'all high school coach is your son's coach.
Exactly, and So Reggie was my first. I was the first player he ever coached, and now Devin is going to be the first player from one of his former players' kids that he's ever coached.
Reggie, you old.
Yeah. I was like, now you having an old man moment.
Yeah.
But just to piggyback on that, my son had been in the Bay Area, the last 12 years. So he didn't get the real feeling of love of all our peers, from Pooh, from Bobby, from M. Will, from TA, from Bottoms, all those dudes, surrounding him and showing him love and holding him accountable. So now he's able to experience what DeLon was able to experience, because he used to be in those same pickup games with us. Those dudes can't hoop no more, but they can train him, they can mentor him and stuff like that. So Devin has no idea what he's in store for these next 3 years of high school, because the village, that's around, that we always talk, it takes a village to, create whoever it is. So Devin is going to be able to experience that now. I'm so blessed and fortunate to have the type of friends and, the relationships I've established over the last 37 years, really. So he's going to get that full experience.
What is, it keeps coming back to it for me. It's just this legacy that's created. Mm-hmm. It feels like it started with your parents, right? And their community around you guys to keep you out of the streets and keep you busy and doing what you're supposed to get where you are. And it's even in how y'all just talk about life, man. There's a place of humility and love for the game. How do we pass that on to our youth? Right? Man. So you have your son, so you have that community. You know what it is. So how are you doing that with the teams that you coach and the kids that you're around? How do you recreate that culture now?
I think the biggest thing what I do with all the teams I coach is sharing my resources. So whether you got an injury, I got somebody to send you to. Mm-hmm. If you need a massage, I know somebody to send you to. You need a trainer, weightlifting skill, I know the person that can help you, So I think that's how I give back, is just giving these resources up. I've met so many people, in my journey, a 16-year career, and so many people want to give back as well. So I feel like me sharing my resource, that's the biggest cheat code. Yes. That where to recover at. You could go talk to a PT person and you dealing with knee pain or whatever, they could fix that right away. Yeah. My guy in NorCal is one of the best, Doug, and I send all my kids to him. He puts guys on that the plate. And then he can tell, if you're going to have an injury in the next few months because of how you land and how you jump, things like that. So I feel like me being able to give up my resources is the biggest thing that I'm paving forward to the youth.
And so, Delon, you received those resources probably kind of firsthand, one of the first ones to receive those. What was that like, and did you have peers who weren't receiving those things and seeing how it kind of impacted their career in the long term?
For sure. It's a lot of guys that were quote unquote better than me, skill wise, physically, that didn't pan out, whether it was college or the NBA. And just talking about his resources or whatever, or the village he had, I always remember we would play pickup with all his homies, and Will would pick me first out of everybody that was in there. I thought it was weird at first. I'm like, why is he picking me? But he saw something in me. He saw me going to get the loose balls, getting steals, doing a little sneaky stuff. So he would pick me first before anybody, even before the pros. So that kind of gave me confidence, I'm doing something good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just him gassing me up. And I thought it was gas at the time, but he saw something.
That's one thing I could say about M. Will. He was the biggest fan of DeLon, and he's seen it before everybody, because I remember I'm gone, so I didn't even get a chance to see him in high school until he got to prep school. So I just hear what you're doing, right? So it just used to confuse me that he didn't play nothing like me. I used to go get buckets, score 30, 40, whatever. And he, like he said, he's going to do the sneaky stuff, tap the ball from behind, offensive rebound, trick you, steal, stuff like that. And then he used to just be so goofy. So he used to irritate the hell out of me. Bro, you need to get serious. You know what I mean? But in Will seen it that, just the little things he did. And he used to always say, he's like, bro, DeLon going to be better than you. He was like, dog, he don't even like you. Why you keep picking him? Let me take him. So that's one thing I can say about M. Will. He's a crazy basketball mind as well. And he definitely seen it at a early age with DeLon than I did, because he didn't play like me or look like me on the court, where I was like, he weak.
Did he end up better than you?
No.
I'm still working. I haven't averaged 16. Your career high was like 16?
Yeah, 16.
I ain't ever 16 yet, so
What's your highest?
like 10 and a half.
10 and a half.
Yeah.
All right, so we getting there. We still
I'm still, I ain't let the league in threes yet.
But
So.
you know, he keep running his own path. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So he ain't got it's really no competition at all. You know what I'm saying?
It's healthy and fun, right?
Yeah, I got it to 16.
There you go.
It's hard though. It's hard.
So yeah, man, scoring in the NBA ain't no joke.
Yes.
Guarding NBA players ain't no joke. So
Yeah,
that's what I
facts.
know is like, man, to do what NBA players do, like people don't understand. And it like I hate it. I'm around middle school kids,
Yeah.
so they think they know everything. Like, oh, he sucks.
I was
Like,
about to
yo.
say
That's everybody.
I said no. No NBA player sucks.
Yeah,
If they'll give all of you buckets, and there's only 450 of them right now in the NBA, and only 300 of them actually playing games. So
Right.
don't even say an NBA player sucks.
Right.
Like until you do what they do, they don't talk about it.
Yeah,
Like
facts.
I was that guy. I was the guy, everybody subbed, oh, he weak. Until I got to, actually see what everybody does suck.
Yes.
Just circumstance of your role. And
Who's the hardest working player that you played with on the team so far in the NBA?
I got a lot.
Yeah.
You know, my top few guys that have to be D Wade, Steph Curry, and Damian Lillard. Like I've never seen guys like those guys work as hard as they did. More with D Wade was just all the injuries, and bouncing back from that and getting back to that superstar status. Steph Curry, we used to be like, bro, you need to go get some rest. You still in here working. We didn't see it.
It was just the time spent.
It was the time spent. And, these are things that wasn't cool back then. The skill work and just being in the gym forever. Like, you got your work in, but 2-3 hours is a lot. And Steph did it. And then Dame, he just always that underdog. So he carried that with him everywhere. So those three guys right there, out of my teammates, worked harder than anybody I ever seen.
Yeah. What about you?
it's going to throw people off, but like Luis Scola, and this was like at the age 38 for him. Around that time, 36, 38, it was like his last year in the league. I never seen nobody work that hard, especially for him to be so old. Like, this dude was lifting and getting them shots, and he was doing conditioning, like, before game days. I've never seen nobody do that. That was my rookie year, so...
That's why he lasted so long.
For sure, I see why.
And playing in
He's
Europe.
in great shape.
That's Europe. You get to these NBA practices and you be like, this is not enough work.
Yeah.
They used to going home, taking a nap, and coming back to get another practice in. So that's that Europe that was in him too, for sure.
Is that showing? Oh, well, you got
I
another
think
one?
Bismack, too.
Bismack,
Okay. So yours are bigs. That's interesting. Cause
Yeah. Guards?
In my experience, just being around trainers and, being in sessions, actually that's true. Joakim Noah is probably one of the hardest working dudes I've seen.
Yeah.
Joakim Noah and KG was a maniac.
Yeah.
KG, his workouts would be short because he's so intense though,
Mhm.
and he'd be getting to it. And so I used to rebound. That's when I first started training. I was rebounding for him. It was scary to even rebound for that man. But it was like, man, like his focus is just on a different level.
Facts.
And like I'm saying, man, what y'all do every day, and to think that there's people who do more than what I see hey, this is how you stay in the NBA.
Yeah.
But to be a superstar and get these contracts they're getting, the three people you named by themselves, it's
Right.
just like
Those are Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers. And it's Hall of Fame work ethic.
Mhm.
And so it's just starting for the kids who are listening to this, and to the parents who have kids. Just because you're good in middle school, it means nothing.
That means absolutely nothing.
Just because you're good in high school,
Really
it doesn't mean nothing unless you're about to go to the league, right?
Yeah, well, I think now, they're taking kids a little bit earlier, so it means a little bit more. But for the underdogs, for the guys that's like us, it don't mean nothing until it's time to get there. You know what I mean? It only take you to have a good week. It could be a good 2 days, and that's when I kind of got on the map. Went to Hardwood Classic with SCA with Pat Barrett, and it took me a weekend, and I blew up.
Wow.
Reggie Morris asked me how the weekend went. I was like, it went cool. And then I have Donovan, Billy Donovan, Coach Calhoun, all these dudes. Mike Henry Bibby showing up to the school on Tuesday.
Wow.
So it only take a weekend, you know what I mean, to really put your name on the map.
And so for you, was prep school that had to happen, or did you choose that over going to college?
Well, no, it was kind of both. I was the same way. I didn't take school serious at all, but I was always eligible. You know what I mean? So it kind of gave me more time for basketball and more time for school as well with the SAT and all that stuff. We didn't have no knowledge about that. We thought we was going, you know, straight to the MLB or something like that. We had no future or no mindset of, oh, we're planning to go to college. We were planning to go to the pros in baseball. It was never no college. So,
but see, I love that because I think people always say you're a student athlete, right? Mm-hmm. And student always comes first, and I'm like, nah, not really. Right. I think it's even because y'all focus was being a pro. Your journeys led you there, regardless. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even pro baseball at first. Right. You played baseball too?
I did, yeah.
Okay, and that was the route you.
I was in between. Yeah. Okay, I started to grow. I was always good at basketball. I played AAU since I was like 9, so I started out earlier.
Yeah, I wasn't doing all that.
So you were doing baseball till your sophomore year or junior year?
No, senior year until I graduated.
Well, I mean, when did you start playing basketball more than baseball?
When I got to the NBA. That's what I'm saying. I was playing all the way until the last day.
Dang.
Yeah.
And so, okay, well, there you go. That's different. That's awesome. Hey, man, one of a kind right here, y'all. So that's the thing is that, but y'all focus was always being a pro.
Yeah.
And that is my thing when I'm telling parents now. It's like, oh, we just want him to go to college, and I'm like, your kid's 6'7" with a 45-inch vertical,
right?
And he loves the gym. Yeah. Like, no, let's focus on being a pro. Yeah. College will happen because we gonna make sure he's good in the classroom. We have those resources. We work out of private schools now.
Yeah.
Where you're surrounded by you can't mess up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So these kids and their parents, I'm like, nah, if you want to be a pro, like we never are dream killers, but let them push there and see what happens.
No, facts.
Let them see what happens.
And I love what you just said because us being inner city kids, we had to go to the inner city schools. Our parents didn't have money for us to go play all these sports. We didn't pay for training because my dad did that. But pay for all these sports, training, and then go to a private school. Now, you going down the street. I started off at Washington Prep.
Oh, wow.
That's in the heart of the hood, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So you don't hear too many people coming out of Washington. You don't hear too many people coming out of Lusinger, the schools that was around us. So now these kids have the advantage because they're able to go to these private schools, and the academics is a little bit different. Me, I'm coming up with 50, 60 kids in a class, 10 want to be there, everybody else either clowning or paying attention to something else, and you get caught up in that. Now, I get an email every week on what my son doing.
Yep. You know what I mean? Check online, see what work he has.
Yeah, my parents didn't get that, so it's easy for us to slip. Now,
my best friend was changing his grades. We get the report card sent home. We'll get that little pencil like, you ain't getting a whooping this week at least.
I got caught doing that.
It's the crafty one right here. I was too scared of that.
I think we was getting numbers. It was getting numbers. Like one was the lowest.
And so you changed it to a 4?
I was changed to a 4, right? Obviously, I'm in middle school, so my handwriting is not as good.
Yeah.
My dad was like, "What is this? Like, you changing?" Well, I got a whooping so cold.
See, I wasn't that crafty.
Oh man,
that was my last resort.